Did he just admit that he was one of the girls? Child, I'm not even exaggerating when I say that this trial has been nothing but mayhem. It has been filled with some of the most startling and shocking disclosures we have ever heard, and it now appears that Diddy may be exonerated of the horrible acts he is accused of doing. Hold on, though, because rumors have it that Diddy's legal team is going to make a completely unexpected change to their approach. They are allegedly preparing to acknowledge Diddy's sexual orientation, specifically that he has been quietly on the DL down low for years. Now Diddy's sexual orientation has been the subject of a great deal of conjecture throughout the years, and supporters are certain that his team intends to use those rumors to support their position. Insiders claim that Diddy's team is getting ready to make the case that he suppressed his true identity for so long that it ultimately snapped, resulting in the unsettling actions and crimes he is currently charged with. Yes, it's going to be a boiling pot of madness. Let's dissect this. I won't tell lies. Is Diddy acknowledging that he is under a DL? My bingo card for 2025 most certainly does not include that. Of course, there have always been rumors. However, Diddy has shut them down time and time again, over the years. Furthermore, I'm not referring to a few people muttering behind closed doors when I say rumors. Over the years, several people have come forward with similar allegations. Do you all recall, for instance, when Diddy was outright exposed by his former bodyguard? He asserted that Diddy, supposedly with Will Smith, used to go to covert gay parties.
You was at a party before that they attended, and you said the party was weird? Tell me about that.
I guess that's what Tupac was talking about, the Illuminati and shit. It's like Vivica Fox was with this big gay man, he was 6'9". They called him, his name 6'9". He had the red hair with big old booty, and nobody was gay, and I'm like, what the f is going on here? There's just a lot of weird dude.
Another of Diddy's former bodyguards also came up with shocking allegations, exposing him once more for allegedly being gay and claiming to have seen Diddy engaging in some extremely private activities with another artist, whose identity he did not reveal.
Artist went out the room naked, and the artist said, "You ain't want to come up in there." There was a lot of freaky shit going on.
But that's not all, because it turns out that the feds have had a suspicion about Diddy being gay because they've been investigating him for more than 12 years. To be specific, they weren't investigating him for being gay because there's nothing wrong with that, but they were investigating him for being inappropriately involved with young boys. Back in 2013, there were reports that Diddy was being investigated by federal agencies for sleeping with young boys. According to reports, during a...
But that's not all. It turns out that Diddy has been the subject of federal suspicion for more than 12 years. To be clear, there is nothing at all wrong with him being gay. Therefore, they weren't looking into that. However, they were looking at claims that Diddy had illicit relationships with underage boys. Federal officials were reportedly investigating allegations that Diddy had slept with minors back in 2013. Sources claim that James Rosemond, the former music manager who is now a kingpin, was asked about the preferences of a number of musicians, including whether Sean Diddy Combs was having sex with minors. During a debriefing session with federal agents, a prosecutor particularly inquired about the private preferences of entertainers, including but not limited to Sean Combs having intimate relationships with underage boys, according to a U.S. District Court document. Oh, and it gets worse, because, as I mentioned, Diddy has been the target of numerous attempts to expose him over the years. However, he always found a way to get beyond the barriers. For example, Orlando Brown once said that Diddy offered him some mouth action, if you get what I mean.
Yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooh slash ooh slash. You gave me the ooh slash ooh off. The shoo slash. Diddy. Yeah, son. You gave me the ooh slash ooh wash. I love it, yo.
Not only that, but Jane Doe also revealed Diddy's purported extramarital affairs, adding another name to the increasing list of persons who have revealed his covert way of life.
And he said, yo, Gene, watch the door, don't let nobody come through here. And I said I watched the door. If I watched the door and him and the man ran out and I said that, ain't nobody told me that. I saw that myself.
In addition, rapper Zibbit shared a crazy story about how Diddy once took him to a gay bar, where he was so taken aback by what he witnessed that he snuck out and fled home.
We go down and get a drink. You know, we sitting there watching the music, and then she pointed over the corner. It's two dudes kissing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, then there's girls in the club too. And then she pointed another direction. It's another dude over there like.
50 Cent has been on a mission. And I haven't even begun to discuss his attempts to expose Diddy throughout the years. You know, he even came to get Diddy from his hospital bed. 50 disparaged Diddy on Instagram while practically lying down in a gown. Writing, "Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. You will all be homosexual and content soon. All of you are now under Puffy Daddy's command. Proceed to the closest rainbow." Shading someone with an IV attached. That shows dedication to your beef. Not to mention the time, 50 said Diddy's gatherings were complete freak-offs rather than just parties. Uncontrolled, wild mayhem. At one of those events, he even shared a picture of Lil Baby with the remark, "See? This is why I don't go to no party Puffy and them at. What on earth is happening here? My young man, get the F*** off of him. WTF. So, yes, Diddy has been accused of DL for years. However, he has consistently maintained that he is straight. Which begs the crucial question, why is he suddenly changing his mind so drastically? Why is his defense team purportedly going to assert that he is so severely repressed that he committed all of the atrocities he is accused of as a result of his repression? It may be related to the testimony that is being given in court, particularly the explosive testimony of Cherie Hayes, also known as the Punisher, an exotic dancer. When I tell you that Cherie spilled tea, baby, like a canary, he was singing. According to him, his first job was to choreograph an exotic performance for Diddy and Cassie in 2012. However, what began as a straightforward gig turned into something much more complex. He didn't mince words when prosecutors questioned him about his initial encounter with Cassie. "She was in the restroom, wearing only a wig," he said. "I thought there would be a crowd, but it was just her. She informed me that she and her spouse intended to use baby oil to make a scene." He explained that the room had electric candles, bowls of water, bottles of baby oil, and low illumination. When Diddy came out, Cassie urged him not to look at him or even recognize him. He was nude as he walked into the room, but I was unable to see his face. He donned a garment similar to a Muslim woman's niqab, which covered everything but his eyes. He was holding an Astroglide bottle. Cherie responded. Cassie went into the other room with him. When asked how the incident concluded, she asked if I wanted to finish when she returned. "No," I replied. "I was pleased if they were." She then gave me some cash. He said that he had done the same thing with Diddy and Cassie 8 or 12 times. According to him, the setups were always sexy scenes with lots of baby oil. Around 5 o'clock or 7 p.m., I would receive a call. I knew it would be more than just a scene, even if they would claim to desire one. With oil all over, it would be shining. Mr. Combs would instruct me straight out to adjust the camera and sit forward. At one point, he exclaimed, "I like this SHT," and dropped a stack of dollars. Even if only 40 minutes were spent actively, he said that these sessions might go on for hours, sometimes even up to 4. He was instructed to complete in a particular location. He would receive between $1,200 and $2,000 in cash from Cassie, who would return in a robe after everything was finished. However, it doesn't end there. Daniel Phillip, another escort, also testified that he had sex with Diddy and Cassie at their private houses and hotels in Manhattan. Daniel would send Cassie offensive texts like, "I want to F*** you right now." According to court records, Daniel would spend hours sitting outdoors on the couch after their meetings, while Cassie would enter the bedroom with Diddy. Occasionally, they would return and tell him to go. They would bring him back in for another round at other times. At this point, it's likely that everyone is aware that Diddy has been accused of being on the DL, particularly considering that his attorneys made no effort to refute it throughout these court sessions. Indeed, rumors have claimed that they intend to capitalize on it. They claim they're prepared to acknowledge Diddy's sexual orientation at last, and contend that his prolonged suppression of his sexual orientation caused him to behave out and cause harm to others. Right now, I'm not sure how they intend to persuade a judge or jury of that. It will be fascinating to watch them attempt to play this card after years of denial. However, how do you feel about all of this? Is Diddy's legal team acting in a desperate manner? Or are they at last acknowledging something that has long been kept a secret? Comment below with your ideas, and don't forget to watch the next video for more celebrity tea.